Mastering research confidentiality agreements. Only one person holds the keys to unlocking the secrets of RCAs and licenses. Who within the operational excellence team is responsible for understanding the distinct distinctions between a research confidentiality agreement, RCA, and a license agreement, in terms of their purposes, scopes, and implications for collaborative research projects. Within the operational excellence team, it is the responsibility of the contracts manager to understand the distinct distinctions between a research confidentiality agreement, RCA, and a license agreement, in terms of their purposes, scopes, and implications for collaborative research projects. The contracts manager plays a critical role in ensuring that all research collaborations are properly documented and that the necessary agreements are in place to protect the interests of all parties involved. As such, they must possess a deep understanding of the differences between RCAs and license agreements, which are both essential tools for facilitating collaborative research projects. Research confidentiality agreements, RCAs, are designed to provide a framework for the exchange of confidential information between two or more parties involved in a research collaboration. The primary purpose of an RCA is to protect the confidentiality of sensitive information, such as trade secrets, proprietary data, or other confidential information, shared between the parties. The scope of an RCA typically covers the specific information being shared, the permitted uses of that information, and the obligations of the receiving party to maintain confidentiality. In contrast, license agreements are used to grant permission to one party to use the intellectual property, IP, owned by another party. The primary purpose of a license agreement is to define the terms and conditions under which the IP may be used, including the scope of the license, the duration of the license, and the payments or royalties due to the IP owner. License agreements can cover a wide range of intellectual property, including patents, trademarks, copyrights, and trade secrets. A key distinction between RCAs and license agreements lies in their implications for collaborative research projects. RCAs are often used to facilitate the sharing of confidential information between research collaborators, whereas license agreements are used to grant permission to use IP developed during the course of the research collaboration. For example, in a collaborative research project between a university and a private company, the university may share confidential information related to a new technology with the company under the terms of an RCA. If the company wishes to use that technology in its own products, it would need to enter into a license agreement with the university to obtain the necessary permissions. In addition to understanding the differences between RCAs and license agreements, the contracts manager must also be familiar with the specific provisions and requirements of each agreement. This includes the obligations of the parties, the duration of the agreement, the termination clauses, and the dispute resolution mechanisms. Furthermore, the contracts manager must be able to negotiate and draft RCAs and license agreements that align with the goals and objectives of the research collaboration. This requires a deep understanding of the research project, the parties involved, and the intellectual property being developed or shared. In summary, the contracts manager within the operational excellence team is responsible for understanding the distinct distinctions between a research confidentiality agreement, RCA, and a license agreement, in terms of their purposes, scopes, and implications for collaborative research projects. They must possess a deep understanding of the differences between RCAs and license agreements, as well as the specific provisions and requirements of each agreement, in order to effectively negotiate, draft, and manage these agreements on behalf of the research organization.